Alright. Slightly under weather again, but that's pretty normal. Sorry about that. So, this week's schedule. Today, Sea Power. I'm going to build a mission. So I'm going to show the mission building process, my workflow, and then we can have a dive with the U-boat if this cough doesn't get worse. And Thursday we are going to continue Atomfall, and Saturday Subnautica Below Zero and Stalker 2. So that's at least what we have planned. Let's see if this gets any worse. But onwards to the game. So so I had this idea of actually making Battle of the Teikari second part. I've been reading this book about the sea battles in Gulf of Finland during the Second World War, and that gave me like a inspiration. So let's get to the Gulf of Viborg is here, and the island of Teikari is here. You can actually find it from the map. The Playful Island is the it's known with that name. And with a real map, you can actually see the Sea Power map isn't like a super accurate. In any case, the Kotka Harbor is here, and this Viborg's Bay. Yep. Here's the Playful Island. So this was for, I think, the one of the few or the only time when the year was 1944. So Finnish Navy sent out all of its major surface assets to defend the island from the amphibious landing. Of course, it's very inland, so that was bad call, but mostly like because the aircraft attacked. So new border is here, but we can make a slightly fictional scenario where we are trying to defend the island from the amphibious landings. So Battle of the Viborg Bay is the historical event, and it was like the battle was like a 5th to 7th July 1944. So the Soviet landing attempt on Teikari began on morning of 5th July, and they got even like tanks to the shore. On 4th and 5th July, Finnish Navy, supported by several German AFP gunboats, made several raids to Viborg Bay in an attempt to disrupt the Soviet landings. Heavy Soviet resistance from shore artillery, numerous motor torpedo boats, at least 11 apparently, and Soviet Air Force, like something into 20 to 40 aircraft. None of the Finnish ships were sunk, and most of them suffered casualties. So this is it, basically the idea which we are going to build for. June 5th, 1985. Apparently slightly bad visibility, and then it's good idea to just save the mission. Not always like save under custom mission, because it's on default it's going there. So I think our group is starting here. Then we need to start to think about the challenge. And this is like a Finnish Navy mod. So, what the Navy had was, yeah, these were like Second World War ships, but they have been like a Finnish Navy used the same names for newer ships. So Hämeenmaa, Uusimaa, and Turunmaa, and VMBs, motor torpedo boats, which we can actually supplant with the Nuoli class. So this is basically only mission I can actually imagine be having like a two ships of this type. It's a Riga class escort basically. I don't think they need better torpedoes. And then we have a Turunmaa class gunboat. Sorry about that. I don't know what's with the name. I thought I set it up pretty well. Okay. Oh yeah, you need to give them a name when you are selecting the ship. Add unit. No. Sometimes this is slightly funny. Okay. Probably it works. So we have was divided to two groups. I wonder what we should use for the gunboat barges. Probably we wouldn't need. Okay, so Turma is basically in its own group. Remove. So my idea is to get them close into the gunner range and start gunnery battle. That's the idea at least. So I'll get the I get the mission working first, then I'm wondering about the triggers and stuff. All right. So if we just forget the barges, we can go over 9 knots, which is probably what Finns should have done in a real deal, anyways. For the for the torpedo boats, I've noticed that these don't always like want to go near each other. So I was thinking of mix of weaponry here. At least one AA gunboat, so we have anti-air missiles, because they will come in handy. I wonder if 2 is too much. I don't know. let's get closer. You shouldn't put these vessels too close because then the game gets funny. Although close escort distances are pretty normal in Gulf of Finland and Baltics. So that's about it. Far away. I would hope that it's not like a 10 nautical miles always. This escort distance that might be like a good for the aircraft carrier, but nothing much else. Okay, so both formations are slightly loose, and this island here shouldn't be here, but yeah, it is. So can't do anything about it. So I was thinking, I've added the ground forces usually just to be the guys who are stepped on. And that's why we need like these land units to be there to be stepped on. Or give a illusion of that actually there's something going on. I'll put a platoon here and give them like a SPAA. Very gamistic feel, but that's how it is. Also, when we start testing, I need to like fiddle these units around because you can't actually trust this map here. Also, we should probably like adjust the formation heading. I would like to give like a better skill level for the Finns, just because the 55/54 it has like a very rudimentary range finding, so they are missing a lot of shots. I mean a lot. I have sometimes noticed that enemy can actually dive under the water. So in this case, it probably would be possible to make the vehicles dive under. Let's test it out. Most of this, what I do, is mostly testing. So you figure out something, you test it out. It doesn't work like you want it to work. You make changes, you test it again if it's good enough. That's a process. So every first draft missions are probably pretty bad. Okay. I should probably give these a... I didn't... Okay. Oh yeah. I see the first problem already. Well, they have white tanks here. Let's save when we add something. So I found out there's this white colored there's several T55 variants. One of them is colored white. Can we change? Okay. Apparently not. So this white colored T55 is actually T54 in this Finnish Navy mod, which is kitbashed totally together. I want to see if enemy tanks can actually cross this this bay here. Apparently, yes, it's going. It's going very well. Yep, as you can see, there's no dry land here. That's a deep training. Also, I added they can cross. Yes, they can cross definitely. Yeah, I added the machine gun here for the aircraft, but yeah, definitely. So basically, we don't need that much of enemies, but enemy ships or something. But we can actually have like Soviets approaching this way. Let's remove this group. So if I want to like keep the mission some timetable, there will be like automatically some armored company getting to the island. The red tide can't be actually stopped or something. T55 has snorkel, right? Yeah, I know that it has snorkel, which is like a in the end, Finnish T55 crews were told to how to use the snorkel, but it wasn't like it was trained on the dry land, okay? Just because it's kind of dangerous, and it's not like a watertight. So everything that goes with the idea of actually deep fording through the waterways, it's very hazardous. So that's why, and all the examples from the Ukraine have been like showing that those have been going awfully bad. And reason is that Finnish army actually used to use BTR-60s as a boating vehicle, and there's this Lake Taipale here, around where I'm pointing. So they had like a 5-kilometer marches on the lake, and then they lost like a group of soldiers when the BTR-60 sunk. So that was like a bad case. Happened in the start of 90s. So yeah, it's not safe. Something that's made from the steel isn't really made of floating. One trigger could be like when these guys are destroyed, the mission is over. And our group is coming from here, and they will get like attacked by the motor torpedo boats. Let me bring up the picture here. Soviet amphibious landing. Soviet amphibious landing doctrine. Okay, this is pretty good. So here we can see the picture from the I think this is a Second World War example, but so the Soviet assault came from the sea, landing behind the defenders who are engaged, and there's this picket line of motor torpedo boats that are meant to MTB defensive patrol line, the reach here. So they always have this picket line of actually protecting the landing ships. Never know that heavy IPC or tank would have a hard time staying afloat. Good to know. Yeah, it's not all military commanders understand that part as well. But yeah, I suppose anything crazy happens if you need to use it. But if you have choices, please don't. So I was thinking there will be like a picket line forming up here from the 11 motor torpedo boats. And this is what actually happened. Also, remember that yeah, these ships can drive inland or get stuck pretty easily. And current version has pretty good amount of motor torpedo boats. I think the Soviets still used them a lot, and they had these big motor torpedo boat models. Stenka is pretty okay. In Second World War, they used these P-class boats, which incidentally I think we have some. Yeah, P4 and P6. So this would be like pretty close. That's very much a boat. Ooh. Obsolete torpedo, okay. Slightly newer, but that's a wake homer. So mix of P6 and P. That's a very really fast boat. That's a really fast boat. Formation. Let's make one formation leader. Give it a heading. Yeah, this doesn't want to update. And when everything fails, do it manually. Maybe slightly staggered here so they don't collide with each other. I've noticed that ships often try to avoid in a wrong way. And let's check that they can actually sail straight. And you can give them like a waypoint towards your own ships, player ships, just because, and they are there already. So this is very clear example of the blocking skirmish line here, and way of the Viborg is so narrow, it's like a very easy to cordon off. So don't wonder at all that we lost the bay. And yep, this was like an end of the war. So Soviets were coming here and trying to cross here. The real threat is, however, coming from the sky. And we still don't have like this amphibious landing force. In this context, however, we could actually hide some landing ships here and get them come here, so you can actually notice how the targets are getting popped up here. So this basically you need to break through the picket line here, which would be like a pretty interesting scenario. I don't think this mission type yet works, but it would be like it would be interesting if this worked like well. Even old Operation Flashpoint had this slightly different behavior on the enemy units. And I need to check it out. I can't eyeball everything. We are lagging again. That's somehow related to the DirectX. Or maybe OBS is misbehaving. That's always like a possibility here. Let's check it out. Restarting the game usually works, but let's wait it out. Yep, seems like something is definitely lagging now. And this bug is pretty new, so I haven't like met it before like something like a month ago. Very funny. But that's the alpha state program for you. So like things get changed and tested, and not all updates work like you would think, and that's how it is. Good way to QA test your game, apparently. Publish it in a early access. Now we just need like a proper tools to notify about the bugs. I don't think any unit is actually just lagging, but so how much time is nobody fly to the moon, so everything is okay. Visibility is slightly too good. And I need to check the time. Okay, let's see how long it takes to spot the enemy.
Contact faded.
Okay.
Contact faded. Track 7002.
So this is the location they could start to make the attacking dive. So about here. Okay, this should be like pretty okay surprise. And I'm going to just add artillery here. Of course, we don't have every piece of equipment in a Soviet arsenal, but something really good can be found from the Vietnam had like a pretty old stuff, like a 130mm P30 battery. That is actually pretty okay. One 130 was a pretty powerful caliber, so. Heavy gun. Okay, the motor torpedo boat can now get even close when we have a fog. Fog of war, basically. Okay, it's you don't see everywhere, and that's pretty great. So adds more guesswork. And you could have like a triggers and whatnot. To change the mission to suit your needs, so different groups appear at different locations and whatnot. So even with the current triggers, you can get like lots of variety for the mission. And also there should be like some minefields over here, so we can actually put some of them there. I wonder if the tank can drive into the sea mine. Now the visibility is much poorer.
Track 7001 is classified. Hostile vehicle. Track. Transmit active sonar.
Okay.
Sonar. We've been hit. Contact faded. Track 7003. Hit track 700. We're hit.
Okay, we lost the defenders. Need to adjust that. Of course, if I change their quality to these D72s, that's much better.
Ahead 1/3. Maneuvering eye.
And Turma group shouldn't be like this fast. Okay, motor torpedo boats are actually getting a drop on these ships.
Secure active sonar. Surface search on.
Yep,
Radar eye.
like that.
Multiple surface contacts detected. Surface search on. Radar eye. New surface engaging track 7005. Salvo fire. Engaging track 7004. Salvo fire. Engage track 7005. Salvo fire. Hit track 7005. New surface contact detected.
Okay. Pretty nice. I wonder if they are launching any torpedoes.
New surface contact detected. We're hit.
And the artillery is starting to pound. Actually going pretty well.
7005 is classified. Hostile warship.
Okay. Sounds pretty good. I noticed that I'm thinking what the player should do and what the player shouldn't do, like as game design. But if we don't want these to come here, they can come a lot later. Ultra. Maybe. Well, these people are here to be stepped on, so that's about it. All right, so checking the wiki page. So they don't have any numbers here all that much. And 9 cutter, 9 torpedo boats with motors and artillery. Well, that's the first attack. I know that they saw like 3 mine clearers. Too bad the mine clearers do not work yet. But there's mines were available. They were in the game already. So I kind of lifted them up from the so you have your basic sea mine float here. So any more fresh active mine or something like that, those are things that do not yet work. Like a hard pressed to think how they could work, but it's something that I would hope that we get, because thing is that Soviets kind of liked these smart mines a lot. So mining areas was their forte, basically. Okay, this would be like a pretty okay sea mine float, although it may be way too wide. I wonder, because I can actually now save the formation, but I can't load it, so suppose that's some option that's going to come in a later versions of the game. This is not a beta, so Mine clearers are trying to breach the defenses. And we could even do the interesting attack. Let's call it that way. I had lost them. I had lost the boat with the soldiers, but it's somewhere. Soviet had one version, and the United States had one version, but it wasn't like available from the menus, but it was in a files that it's in a game, much like a Sea-Mind. Okay. So I opened them up, but didn't like a South raft. A South raft. Steel Demo Space NAS. Let's add some Space NAS. So what I did is use these South rafts as a mobile observation platforms. As a coastal Jaegers. Coastal Jaegers do get into the islands, so they operate in dry land. But yeah, they are ferried to the islands with the boat, but they are not leaving the boat. They're to be spotted, so I suppose something for defender to shoot. And I suppose the goal would be get these landing ships to the island, which is probably pretty easy. And I was thinking when they hit the island or come to the area of the trigger, they will spawn a Soviet tank there. And we need to use the big landing ships, but because we don't have small ones, but I suppose we can manage. So just well. I know this might be like slightly boring to watch me making it a mission, but this is how I work, and I've been like thinking of this that I need to like show how I'm actually working. So I get some idea, and then I'm going to just research how I'm going to do it. And that's about it. That's about it. This ship's life's work, basically. Let's go stupidly here. Not that one. Roll. Let's hope these don't get stuck in these narrow waterways. It's always like a good practice to name your groups, so you can actually understand what's happening. The third one is here. Okay, it doesn't look so bad. Okay, and then the biggest issue. I'm going to give the Soviets an air base. At least for the aircraft to go and reload. But also that maybe in the future AI can launch aircraft airstrikes or something. Custom air group actually works now. So there's everything here. Let's make MiG-17s, well, Lim 6, MiG-17s and MiG-23s mostly. And with the same logic, it's actually a pretty good idea to start airstrike. So they have like a 40 minutes time to go to the battle area. It was Polish version, yep. So I'm usually like spacing them here. So it will take time for enemies to fly over. Because this will hurt. I mean, this will hurt a lot. If I want to be like slightly more fair, I'm going to give rockets. Close air support. Okay, so they were in a close air support because they were supporting this attack to the island, not the. And now they are coming from pretty far away. Let's check there. So now we have at least two groups coming to this way, because air power was the bad thing in a real life battle. So we need to get here to defend from these landing ships. In order that we need to break through the artillery and the torpedo boats. Yay! So this is getting worse by the minute. And that's exactly what we need and want. I'm still thinking of changing these to the T-72s, just because they have more hit points. Shoot better. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, then we can start making triggers. First trigger would be like a briefing. And you always need like a condition. Add condition. I don't know when the generic is actually going to fire up. It's not always acting like I would want. Condition time, so game starts in a 6. 6 o'clock. So in 10 seconds, it would like a condition would actually happen. We don't need the area, and we need to like set up the message, blue side message and red side message. Basically, if this is pretty interesting, but because usually you would like need to set up only like one side, but if you have like a mission that can be played from the both sides, but then you have like different version of the mission. So I don't know why you are showing the both side messages, unless you are developers are going to give us at some point chance to like make a head-to-head missions or missions that you can play through the internet against your friends or something. I'm not going to write more than that. Okay, then you need to check that trigger works. This is always like when you are creating a mission. You should like check it if the trigger works. Of course, these triggers can actually activate other triggers, so you can start with the triggers that are not activated. That's actually how you can actually branch the... Okay, something horrible is happening. The terrain textures are not loading for some reason. Don't know why it's doing that. Oh well. Choice of the early access. An alpha state of program. Okay, back to the game.
On station. Search on. Radar I.
Okay, it works.
Transmit active sonar. Secure active sonar. Surface search on. Radar I. Surface search on. Radar I.
And as we can see, we don't yet spot the motor torpedo boats because they are hiding behind the island. So in case the player decides to
Ahead flank.
use the speed of the Turunmaa class gunboat, this is going terribly fast for its size. Then they might run into the motor torpedo boats.
Ahead flank. Maneuvering I.
And I want to know when the aircrafts are here. So trying to get the timing just right so they arrive in the worst possible moment. Because I'm a sadist. Ships could start a bit closer from the action, but you can actually make some strategy changes here, and it's not starting overtly. So it lulls the player into false sense of security. Also, I totally need to make 3D models for these ships. But I don't want to use the sea lifter because when you kitbash, it's always like available for all without having to download the third-party software. So, okay, finally. Okay, so they are noticing, if they have a radar, so they are noticing aircraft pretty far. But if they go lower, then they are not spotted, right? I think these planes should wait a bit more longer than before they appear in this mission.
Ahead flank. Maneuvering I.
Shoulder launch missile, so it has like a only short range. So this was actually tested with the Nuoli class motor torpedo boats, but apparently way too unstable platform for this kind of stuff. It's not that great, even in this game.
Engage track 7004.
see what happens. Only one. Huh.
Birds away, track 7004.
Okay, there's more of them.
Bandits. Multiple air contacts detected. New air contact detected. Engage birds away, track 7012. Engage track 70. Engaging track 7013. New air contact detected.
And now player is going to waste all the expensive missiles on the MiG-17, which is going to be a sorry, like a very bad case when the MiG-23s. Okay, so they got the one ship already. Yep, understandable. That can happen.
Engaging track 7005. Salvo fire.
So exactly, timing is a bit off, but otherwise it's pretty good. Sorry about that. Let's wait from here. Okay, again. So let's check this again. We didn't change much on only the something horrible is again happening. I don't have any graphics modes, so whatever this is very interesting. So I wonder why it's actually losing the ground textures. Okay, let's try again. So we are currently creating a second version of the Battle of Teikari from Gulf of Viborg from 1944. Okay, now this works. Everyone can have a weapons free. And I think these ships can go. Although we didn't actually change the timing of the or altitude of the aircraft, so let's see what happens.
Air search on. Radar high.
These are doing 11 knots, this is doing 15 knots. So
Ahead 1/3. Maneuvering aye. Ahead 2/3. Ahead 1/3. Maneuvering aye. New air. Contact detected.
okay, so 6,000 feet is spotted from here.
New air. Contact detected. New air. Contact detected. New air. Contact detected.
Okay.
New air. Contact detected.
Yep, coming pretty fast.
Surface search on. Radar eye. Air search on. Ahead standard. Ahead flank. Maneuvering eye. Ahead full. Ahead flank. Maneuvering eye. New engaging track 7007. Engaging track 7007.
Okay, so we can't
New air. Contact detected.
can't shoot with the cannons, but yeah, close-in defense is only like with the 40 millimeters.
Engage track 7008.
The planes are definitely going to make a short work of the.
New surface contact detected.
Okay, now they are spotting the mine
Contact
clearers.
burns away. Track 7007. Engaging track 7007. Engage track 7008. Contact faded. Track 7009. Multiple air contacts detected. Birds
Okay,
away. Track.
missed.
Track.
Okay.
Contact faded. Weapon air. Engaging track 7007.
Ah, they are wanting something.
New air contacted. We're seeking all hands abandoned ship. Track 70.
Okay, what did we lost the Turma class.
Splash track 7. Track 7007.
I suppose those bombs are pretty bad.
We're seeking all hands abandoned ship.
So, rethinking the strategy. So what is medium speed anyways? Get 3,000 feet. Maybe we should start a bit closer. Also, this can drive full because they are crazy fast. These in on other hand are not so fast, but it's pretty good, nice. Okay, then the weaponry. FAB 500 is when it hits, it's going to kill a ship. So cash. Yep, cash. How about rocket boards? No. Okay, the Soviets have a slightly different 100. Okay, strike has several bombs. So it's about the same. Okay, no rocket bots. This is interesting. Of course, they might not need to have bombs. All Fab 100. Also, we can give them like a green, so they might not destroy all of our ships immediately. But with the MiG-23s coming here, that's a totally different story. Okay, so they have a S8. We can add like a third group here that's coming with the bombs. Or if the AI is actually able to launch something from here. Alright, so let's continue the interesting world of triggers. So we added the briefing trigger and it's kind of works. It kind of works. Okay. So what I want to do is we are going to spawn a tank. And yes, I know that we can't actually spawn tanks, but what we can do is the next best thing ever. And that's just like a make a group. And this group 17 can be somewhere like here. Not going to get to the battle. Nobody's ever going to see it unless we have this spawn tank. Add condition. And this is actually working correctly in after latest update. Unit enters area. At condition position here, we can actually adjust it. So when certain unit hits the beach here, the first one. Let's put it to the red side so we are not going to see the triggers. I sometimes forget. Groups. First Robucha class, yep, it's here. Minimum units 1. Units in a group, add. So these are no condition units. When the condition unit is, one condition unit is in this place, it's going to spawn the tank. And it's going to, we can place it like this. Or like this. Now, at a trigger position here, area visible to side, none. And this teleport to position. You can also like check the position now, which is that's pretty useful in certain situations. Action units. Now, when the ship gets here, the T-72 is going to be spawned here. And it's going to start to move. It's going to reform its formation. Sure, that's automatic, but it's going to go towards this waypoint here. Because it was already going there. Easy. And now we do the same thing 3 times. When doing the triggers, these groups should be named after the, so you can actually understand what you are doing. Yep. All right. So. Sorry about that. So trigger name is spawn tank 2. At condition unit enters area, condition position here. Condition here. Second Robucha class. It's in here. Trigger position here. And I think it's going to appear in the middle of this trigger. So there's no like a randomization inside this sphere. None. None, okay. Action units. That's fine. And maybe you should like make a message that come on enemies landing offloading tanks from its landing ships or something. So we can actually definitely go and make that. That's enough. Now you can technically get it 3 times, but let's not hope. Let's hope that it's not going to go there. This sea might not help at all. Let's say that they might take like one ship down, but not too many. Then what I like to often do is to check on the other side, because if something is going horribly wrong, you can see it when you are playing the other side. Okay, and there's something horrible happening here once again. I don't know why. Have we saved? Let's save. Yep, it's not good. I don't know. That would be it would be great if that could be fixed. Like, it's slightly annoying to have to restart, but it's like a alpha state program. So I'm not finished yet. You can definitely going to see like expect a lot of bugs, especially when the new features are added. Or maybe I have some buggy unit and it's game is glitching out because that, but I don't know. Didn't see anything in a console that would like indicate it being like this. And then of course we would need like a winning and losing conditions of the scenario, unless you are kind of making the fair fight here. But then again, if there's no like winning condition, the player might not have an incentive to actually play the scenario. So that's about it. And now we are actually checking the battle from the other side. That's actually crazy how far you can go with the inland in this game. Some procedure generation here, but they are under the often under the not under the mesh. Okay, this looks interesting. Ships spawn under the mesh, ground mesh, but not here. It looks totally legit. Three knots.
Есть полный вперед.
Okay, not stuck, just slow. And of course these are facing the wrong way, but you can actually see that this is indeed working. Just looks a bit more finished when the guns are not pointing the totally wrong way. Sometimes this doesn't want to accept it. Okay. So their speed was way too less. Maybe now it's like a 8 knots, which is a decent speed. So we spotted here, they got here. Robot is just behind them. I think this is going pretty well. Yep. And like in real life, the Air Force will be the pain in the ass. Now, end triggers. So, if we lose the defenders, we are going to basically lose. Units destroyed. Okay, let's not take just one condition. It's interesting that you can have like several conditions for this trigger, but I think it would make like a whole business way too complicated. So I try to avoid having like a several triggers. But if it's like a win-win trigger with the multiple conditions, then it would be like very useful indeed. Add all in group. Minimum units. So I think this is just an amount. So minimum units destroyed. And I might want to like add the trigger. We don't have a drawing tools just yet. Messages. Okay, now they are getting like a message that we lose. Victory trigger for the red, and I think this means like a lose for the blue. And I'm going to like have the ending trigger somewhere here, so you need to like travel back. In which case you can get like a more casualties. Basically using this as a drawing tool, this trigger, like pointing out certain locations here, and stuff like that. And there's this enable trigger, and I'm going to like have this escape trigger. It's starting with the disabled. So escape is now enabled. So when the trigger is enabled, it can launch. And we can actually have the escape trigger here because it's not going to launch until we have failed the mission. Alright. And then we have a condition, add condition. Unit enters the area. And you can actually add several groups here to the same condition units. So you can have like from the 2 different task force units. Minimum units 1. Now, because this is starting as a disabled trigger, we don't need to bother of our units starting from the inside of the exit area. Let's check it out.
On station.
Yeah, something horrible is once again happening. Don't know why, but it's happening. Anything else we can do? About the winning condition, I'm not having too much hopes of player winning this scenario, because that's not how the things are stacked in a real life. But, well, cards are stacked. But I suppose there should be like some criteria that you can tell player that good boy, it works. And I think that should be done through the play testing. So if you are creating a mission, you should have it play tested. And it's going to take like a long time, longer time than actually planning the mission. And look at the time fly. We have been like creating this mission for a long time. But yeah, this is how it actually works. You spend a ridiculous amount of time to make something seemingly simple.
On station.
Yep, not launching. I think the lose trigger is the most important, because sometimes you need to like have a honor rules and judge by yourself.
Air search on. Radar high.
Can you beat the mission, and is it completed like it should be? Okay, and here we can actually see there's this area that we need to fix. So I think that there were like 4 triggers. But anyway, it's the spawn, and now we have been using the condition and trigger. Okay. So position, area visible to sight. This is like a default, which I'm not liking at all. And too bad when you click here, it's not going to change the trigger at the left side. So you need to manually remove these. Okay, that's not a yeah, one teleport to position was missing. Interesting. Okay, now it's actually changing. So if I click the condition, it's not changing the trigger, but click the trigger, it's going to change it. Very interesting. These are paired, so why can't I change the trigger when I click the condition? Like, what's the reason? Just asking. What else? Yeah, and I was hopelessly lost because these triggers had like their visible setting as well. Okay, so now we don't have an extra. You can always see that I have been forgetting to remove these, so many of my missions. But yeah, this definitely would need like some drawing tools that draw line here, and there's an attack coming here and naval unit here. So some rudimentary drawing tools would be like great, so you can actually embellish this map a bit. So that's how you create a mission. Of course, we don't know how easy or hard this mission is. We know that you are getting like royally bombed by the planes, which I'm still thinking maybe I should like just put guns on them. But yeah, it's all about testing. It's all about testing and giving the scenario, and not all scenarios need to be fair, because life isn't kind of fair ordeal. But yeah, I need to finish this and then I'm going to publish it. We're probably going to have a mission update for the Finnish Navy mod with the several missions which I have been playing, and don't know about any units yet, but there has been like small details, small updates and stuff like that. Nothing too grandiose coming, I'm afraid. So anyway, this was Peli-Rami, a sea power, a bit of my workflow, how do I design missions. Still staying on the Gulf of Finland and Baltics, near water to me. And I hope if you are planning to design your own sea power missions, get on with it. It's something you are going to learn by doing. I'll show the timetable here. So next we are going to have a dive on the U-boat. I think my voice is barely holding on, so I'll take something and try to dive with you people. But anyway, let's return after something like 15 minutes. In this week we are going to play Atomfall on Thursday. I'm trying to get to the Deus Ex 2027 at some point, but there's way too many good games coming out again. And Saturday, Subnautica Below Zero and Stalker 2. So lots of great games coming out. So we'll see in 15 minutes or a bit more. See ya.